So the game everyone was all excited about because it was the first time it was playable was Super Smash, and they were only showing. I was kind of sad that they were only showing the multiplayer mode, just because the part of the game that I'm actually really excited about is the adventure mode. But you know what gets me excited about Smash Brothers is just, as being a Nintendo fan, all the Nintendo fan service in it, and that even in the multiplayer modes was on like full display.
And oh, there's an assist trophy. Hang on. That's the Advance Wars.
It's a Nintendo orgasm all over your face. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, the game is just like total fan service between like the little Advance Wars guys that come out for power-ups, like, you know, Punch Out Dude come out and punch people up. From that, to like Sonic now being added, to like promise of more characters, Snake. I mean, just the game is the ultimate fan service for anybody.
There's that Super Smash Ball or whatever it's called now that appears on the screen at certain times.
It's not just like you walk up and grab it. You have to actually like punch it open. So like everybody's sitting there trying to punch it open, and then all of a sudden,
if you do your special attack, you like unleash hell. Like it showed Samus basically like blast away the entire screen. Sonic turns into Super Sonic, flies around, knocks other people out.
Just about there, unleash it, you can actually steal it from them. So it's just like that kind of back and forth, that almost like mini game within the game.
It's kind of like the Donkey Kong hammer from the old game. It's like it was so powerful that when it appeared, or the invincibility star, that you just wanted to get it. Right. You can use it like against like all the enemies, or there's some characters that just have it where they can do a lot of damage to just one character, and you can avoid these super attacks.
For me, it's still like four people fighting and beating the crap out of each other. Just adds another element to the game, I thought, which is definitely needed to change it up, like just a tinge.
When I went in, I was most excited to see Smash Brothers, and it ended up being more excited about Mario Galaxy. Mario Galaxy is like a totally new experience, like nothing like we've ever seen before. It's not really like Mario Sunshine or Mario 64, but like Smash Brothers, I think, is still pretty much a known quantity now. It was like when I played it, I'm like, this is pretty much like the old games.
I felt like Mario Galaxy was like Sunshine. In fact, it reminded me of those kind of abstract levels in Sunshine. Like the controls are still basically the same. The game looks a little better. The one thing that's really different about it is that it's playing with gravity constantly, it seems like, and it's not as restricted. Like in Sunshine, almost all the worlds were based around, you know, they had to be like the same locale. But now that it's like different planets, it's totally free to do, like, let its freak flag fly and just like whatever the hell you can think of.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like totally different. You're
but
saying
the
it's like
controls are all still. It immediately felt like a Mario game.
It's a totally different game. You don't.
No, it's not. It's just the gravity. It's still Mario.
No, that's a huge thing. Gravity. If I change gravity right now, your world would be completely rocked. You'd be completely fucked up. So it's a very different. It doesn't feel like anything like any of the old games, just because it controls similarly. But the level designs are so radical, and each planet's so different, and they're like little bite-sized levels.
You have one that also kind of reminded me of the abstract levels that's basically like a box, where you walk around the box and you flip over and gravity is keeping you on the box, but you have to hit all of these different switches.
Pads.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You have to step on them in order and turn them, I think, from question marks into exclamation points. And you have to jump on moving platforms to do it, and you're dodging like these rings that are going out. And it's really cool because you just intuitively, quickly, immediately understand, oh, this is what I have to do. It was really fun, and like the different gravity did totally add something to it. Where you'll see something in the background and you won't know immediately like how to get there. But you know you can get there, so it's also got that like exploration element to it, that like you know, unlocking the secrets aspect to it that the previous Mario games have had.
I think one thing I was worried with being so many different planets and jumping, hopping, bopping each place, I would get like lost. I wouldn't know where the end goal was. But the game is so well designed that you'll never get like off the beaten path so much where you won't know where the final star is or something like that, which I thought was really awesome.
We saw one of the bosses, it's like Koopa Jr. again, but it was like, Jeremy was joking, it's like it's like Juan and the Colossus, basically, because the boss is this big robot, it's bigger than the planet, and Mario basically has to climb up its leg, go through all these gears, and then you're guiding these bullet bills to smash a sensor that it's its weak point. But like, yeah, it had this huge sense of scale, and I think one of the best looking, if not like the best looking Wii game so far.
Personally, for me, I think it's the best looking Wii game out there.
For this game where you're walking around in 360 degrees, upside down, and in all different angles, you think it might kind of throw you off. And you know, like even like not like with a lot of 3D games now that they have camera problems, and I didn't really experience that. No matter how you're oriented, you always knew how to control your guy perfectly, and it just reminded me of like why like Nintendo games, but specifically Mario games, just control so perfectly all the time.
Totally agree.
I think there were two surprises for me at the event. The first one was not a surprise game, but it was a surprise how much I enjoyed it. Was Link's crossbow training. Like I was really into Link's crossbow training.
Serious?
I'm totally
You know
serious.
what?
my
I thought it was a
God.
joke. I thought it was a joke. For free with the game for the Zapper, I don't think it's that bad.
You know, you get the Zapper thing, which I'm actually like the jury is still out. My own private jury is still out on the Zapper thing because it takes a while to get used to, and I pick it up and I'm like this. I'm like, do I like it like this or do I like it like this? I'm still not used to it because I'm used to using my right trigger as the trigger finger. But the game itself, yeah, it reuses all these like Twilight Princess environments, but you know, it's very much like a point blank game in the Zelda universe. It's like shooting targets, doing combos, super simple, that kind of stuff, but just fun. Like it just felt great. Getting combos was very addictive. I already kind of wanted to go back. The stages branch off. They do different things. You could like unlock secrets and that kind of stuff. And then the third person parts, yeah, you're shaking your head already. Did you play it?
Yeah, well, no, I'm just like guessing. Yeah,
Yeah.
I played it. When you try to use the Wiimote as a light gun, you know, even with the Zapper, it's not precise. It's just it's a little shaky, and you're just kind of feeling it out. You're just like pointing a cursor on the screen. You don't have that precision and that kind of reaction. You're just kind of like aiming this little shaky cursor, and you're just shooting targets and monsters and stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess if you're like, you know, if you like competitive grade light gun game, like this is not gonna be it. But like it's like fucking, it's more Zelda too. You know, it's like a Zelda fan service.
That's
just
it.
placing in
That's
that
what I'm
universe.
trying to get at. That's why you like it.
No,
because
that's
it's Zelda.
that's absolutely not true. That's absolutely not true. It's not just that it's Zelda. Like it being Zelda adds something to it. Like when you're in the desert and it's Stalfos's, like I think that's cool. But it's definitely not just that. I was ready to dismiss it completely. Like, oh god, they had like whatever game and they had Duck Hunt and put like Zelda window dressing on it. But they didn't. It's actually really good. It's worthwhile.
The bottom
Tons of levels.
line, it's alright.
The other surprise that you can't question me on because you didn't play it is Master of Illusion.
So essentially, it's going to show you how to make each of these poses, and you have to, you know, really concentrate and make the particular pose that you are feeling like making right at that moment. And when you do so, if your power is strong enough, then it's going to throw it at the DS, and the DS will know which pose you're making.
All right. It's a DS game. It comes with a pack of cards, and there's all these little cool tricks you can do with it. I mean, there's a lot of them are just like based around card tricks, where you get somebody to pick a card, and then you tell the DS in secret ways of what card they have, and then it's like, oh yeah, the DS knew what card you have, and you really won't know unless you've watched the tutorials how the trick is being done on most of them.
There's no game to it. It's just kind of teaching these 20 different tricks or so.
Right. Yeah. It's not so much of a game. It's like this new category of whatever, you know. It's like a game like
It's
that.
not teaching you tricks, right?
No,
it
it's like,
does.
it is teaching you tricks, I think.
It teaches you tricks, but most of them you would need to have the DS in order to perform them. Not all of them, but most of them.
Isn't it more for you to show off and to pick up on women and stuff?
Some of them are like that. Yeah, there's one that's like a love tester where you both put your finger down, and you know, it makes a big show of it and has a heart gauge go up and down. But secretly, you're hitting the L trigger to tell it, you know, how much you want it to say. You two are compatible. It's a really cool thing that's not actually like strictly in a game.
I think it just shows the diversity of the DS, of what all those different things it had. I mean, it's an amazing portable system. It's just another example of a really cool product. I mean, because you got into it right after, I mean, playing around with the different tricks, right?
Yeah, it was really cool. Like each trick, and I'm not like a big Magic fan or anything like that, but it was cool to see the DS used in this novel new way. I mean, it basically uses the touchscreen, and where you hit on a box, you're kind of secretly telling the DS, okay, this is the card, or this is what they chose, or stuff like that. It's very much a thing that's going to appeal to, I mean, gamers who want to like use their DS to impress like non-gamers, or non-gamers that are just like, that happen to have a DS for Nintendogs or something like that. So and then there was a new Advance Wars there, Days of Ruin, where they actually said that the first one didn't sell as well as they expected, and they kind of like table swiped the series. Like it's all new character designs.
last one, you mean? The DS one?
The last DS one, yeah.
Like the character designs, the graphics are all a little bit grittier, a little bit more adult. I'm glad to see them lose Jake, the headphone punk kid from the last. You know, there's this
Right.
kid, this hip street talking, I'm gonna own you kid who's like commanding armies, and he's like an army general, whatever. It's ridiculous. So they seem to have lost a lot of that silliness. Every Advance Wars has introduced new units, but it's usually just something more powerful, right? Like they introduced the Neo tank, which is just a more powerful tank, and then the Mega tank, which is another more powerful tank. But in this game, I saw two new units so far that actually changes the strategy. One is like a flare tank that actually fires a flare into the darkness, so it clears up the fog of war.
yeah, that's
awesome.
And then there's a motorcycle unit too, which is just basically infantry on a motorcycle. This guy can just zip right to faraway bases and camps to capture them. It's supposed to include full online play with voice chat as well. So it kind of feels like not only are they growing it up from a design and aesthetic standpoint, but also from a gameplay and strategy standpoint. Like they want to make it more, it's like, okay, we know this game is about strategy, and let's make it more for the strategy fans.
Overall, compared to Nintendo's summer event that we were at up in Seattle, like, what, 3 or 4 months ago, we came out of that kind of depressed.
Oh yeah, it was Metroid and
Metroid.
Well, they didn't even
get to
show you
play
guys.
Metroid.
Yeah.
But coming out of this, it was like, hey, okay, like there are games to be excited about. You know, there was actually like plenty of games for gamers. I mean, we didn't even talk about, you know, Fire Emblem or Battalion Wars 2. Like it made you remember, like, okay, yeah, there are games here.
I was really sold on Mario before, but now I'm like completely sold. I mean, I think that is, you know, I can finally have reason to hook up my Wii again, which has been in the closet for about 6 months. So.
Dusted off, and me, I got Link's crossbow training to start practicing for. So.